Hey, it's Saturday, December 3rd, 2022. What's going on, everybody? Down in a hole is where we are. Thank you guys for joining me today. For those of you that weren't here yesterday, thank you for being here today. Very much appreciated. Glad to see everybody here. Hope you're having a great weekend or a great start to your weekend, I should say. Grab your drinks, coffee, tea, whatever it be. Come on in and come and see me. Let's talk about some stuff, guys. Can't wait to get started. What's up? What's up? How we doing today, everybody? Good to see you guys. Thank you guys for joining me today. It's good to be here. Good to have you here, as always. Hope everybody's doing good today. Still fighting this crazy crap in my head, chest. This won't go away. Good to see everybody. Trying to find Miss Lisa. She might be busy today. It is Saturday. Sweet Melissa, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. Oh, let's see. Yeah, a little later today than normal, guys. I've had my granddaughters last night and today, so been busy, busy, busy. It's always a good time. Thank you guys for joining me. Anyways, yeah, it's not fun. It has not been fun at all. It's rough. It is rough. I'm almost gonna say it's almost as bad as what COVID was. I'll be honest with you guys. I just can't kick it. I got this crap that just sits here. You know what I mean? It just won't, and it tightens up every so often. And I'll get this real crazy cough, and it starts to move a little, and then it stops. It's real bad mucus, guys. So I just keep taking the medications, hoping that eventually it breaks and it's gone. But welcome, Marie. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Come on in, everybody. Kind of waiting around a little to see who else joins us today. Like I said, it is Saturday, 3:15 p.m. here where I'm at. So let's see what happens. Moonlight, welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Great to have you here as always. So let's see who we got here so far. I can get my darn microphone to work. Moonlight's in the house. Miss Vicky H is here as always. Thank you for joining me. Marie Duffy, it's great to see you. Yes, Miss Melissa, I am definitely. And by the way, Sweet Melissa's here. It's great to see you. Welcome, Cat K. Always a good time when you're here. Everybody's got the crowd, Cat. Everybody's got it. Yeah, it's crazy. Welcome, by the way, Marie Carol Hagman. Welcome. It's so great to have you here, and I'm sorry to hear that, Carol. I hope you're feeling better. Strike first, always. Always a pleasure, my brother. And let's see. I think that's it for right now. Come on in, though, guys. Get comfy. Best you can. Give it a few minutes to see who else we can get in here. Yeah, it's definitely rough, guys. I'll tell you that much. Anybody that's got it, it's not fun. Welcome, Miss Jen. Good to have you. Good to see you. On the stand from the laundries themselves? Well, they don't have the absolutely. I think the answer to your question is unless they have some privilege that they can hide behind. I would imagine. That's right, guys. Come on in, meatballs. Get comfy. Jump down here in the sauce with me. If you take the Fifth Amendment, that Fifth Amendment Yep. Some people aren't getting notifications. So what's up, Fupa? Good to see you. So great to have you here. Sorry, guys. Maybe some of the people that aren't getting the notifications, I can give them a little kick here. Sorry to hear that, Marie. I hope you feel better. That's horrible. Good to see you, Fupa. Let me see. Okay. And I can't forget some of my beautiful people are in completely awkward time zones compared to me, so I have to remember that too. I've had that happen to me before, Marie, where you got to take 2 doses of antibiotics to get something to happen, you know. I'm on a Z pack and a steroid prednisone, a 5-day dose right now. So I don't know. We'll see. And I'm, of course, my Dayquil too, and Mucinex. So I don't know. Hope something kicks in soon. I've heard this stuff's pretty rough though. Everybody going through it. 7:22 p.m. Northern Ireland. Beautiful. Welcome to everybody here from over the pond. Ireland, the Netherlands, Germany, Australia, the UK. Welcome to all of you. It's great to have you here as always. You're not sad you missed that, Fupa. No way in hell. That was not fun. Some people enjoyed it because I was making some people laugh because I just don't do the spider thing. Daisy, what's happening, hon? Good to see you. Yeah, the whole spider combo was not fun to me. Boring living. Oh no, hon, you're not boring. I'm boring. I live in Ohio. Mississippi's cool. Ohio is boring. And honestly, nobody's boring. None of you guys are boring. You guys are all amazing, interesting people. Yeah, that's not cool. Not at all, Fupa. No way. Yeah, I know some of you guys were getting a kick out of that. I couldn't deal with it, guys. I'm sorry. Not for me. Oh yeah, I got plenty in my basement. I stay out of there as often as I can. I'll just put it that way. That's not my favorite place to be because that's their favorite place to be. Come on in, everybody. Oh, Daisy, that's not a big deal. I've killed in one pass in the basement. I've killed 8 to 10 different kinds, but yeah, I've killed quite a few. That's not a big deal. 4 is nothing. Spider Patrol is on the way. That's funny. I love it. Now, yeah, if you got recluses in your basement, you definitely need to call somebody. That's different. Yeah, the recluse, you don't want them around. No, that definitely didn't happen here, Cat. That's crazy. That is crazy. No, it stayed about the same temperature here. It's in the high 30s and 40s. It's supposed to warm up here, though. I think that's part of what's messing everybody up because the weather change is making it even worse for people. That doesn't make people sick, but it doesn't help with the temperatures and stuff. Let me make sure everybody's getting their notifications. As I'm connected with some of you guys. No apologies. The only reason why I'm sending out these personal invites is because some of you guys aren't getting notifications from YouTube. So for those of you that I'm linked up with on other social media accounts, I'm just sending out little hey, I'm live uh, notifications. That's all. See, some of you guys aren't getting them. Molly's always here, so I know she must not have got one. You got one? Okay. Good to hear, Daisy. Yeah, if you guys got a noti from YouTube, throw one in the chat for me. If not, that's why I started doing this. It takes a little extra time, but a lot of you guys were missing these and were getting upset about it. And so I wanted to make sure those of you that wanted to be here were getting the invite for it. All right, so quite a few of you guys got one. That's good. And you're perfectly fine, Shmoby. You don't have to apologize at all. Vegan nut roast. What is that? Doesn't sound bad. Right. Gotcha, Poopa. It is. That's why I tell everybody to hit the like button because it'll keep me in that algorithm. That way, everybody will get their notifications right. And it's a lot more important than I ever thought it was with that whole like button thing. I didn't realize it until I started getting into the ins and outs of this stuff. I got people that have gotten notifications from day one that started not getting them for whatever reason. Good morning, good golly. Miss Molly's in the house. Sounds good, Vicky. I love me some cheeseburgers, that's for sure. Let's see what we got here. Yes, and David must have enjoyed the spider talk too, because he was laughing, left a comment laughing. Good to see you, Molly, hon. Lentils and stuff was quite nice, but well, it sounds really good, Shmovie, actually. Sounds really good. Yeah, I'm losing my voice, guys. That's why I'm making that noise. I'm trying to make sure my throat's working still. Hopefully my voice doesn't cut out like my internet, All right. Smoothie, thanks for asking, hon. I'm still trying to beat this crap. Still got it in my chest, a little bit in my sinuses still. One thing I'll never understand is when people get head colds and stuff like that, the mucus never stops coming. You can't. It just doesn't make sense. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound crappy, guys. I tried to clear everything out. It's just still not. Still there. I'm on it. I'm on a zithromycin Z pack now, day number 2, and I'm on a prednisone 5-day dose. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully that does something. Plus, I'm still on the Dayquil crap. Yeah, you're exactly right, Daisy. It's horrible. That's why I stay away from everybody. It's crazy. My mother-in-law's got it too. Both my grandkids had it. My daughter-in-law had it. Let's see. I mean, it seems like everybody, and it's not just here. It's all over the place. Over in the UK, Ireland, Australia. It's just everywhere. I get it, Molly. I understand, and completely. That's what I was saying. You know what, Popper? My an older friend of mine told me that Theraflu shit where it like really knocks it out. I may have to do that. By the way, what's up, bro? It's good to see you. Um, yeah, that respiratory stuff is not fun, Shmovie. It sucks. I have that. That's what I have, Febreze. Um, and I got the head thing is not so bad now. I can breathe through my nose for the most part, but it's all drained down here now. So sadly, I'll be fighting that for a while. Yeah, yeah, no, I do that. I've had Theraflu before, and actually, you know what? Give me 1 second, everybody. I'm gonna call the boss lady. She's out and about right now. Now that sucks, Fupa. Especially on your vacation. That sucks. I'm sorry. Oh my God, Smoothie, that's ridiculous. Good to see you, Squirt. Hello. What's your mom doing?
She's inside the center.
Center.
Yeah, they had this Christmas thing. It's not downtown. It was at the center welcome center at in the park.
I thought that place was closed.
I guess they opened it back up, and they're having things like this here. There's like I want to say like 50 vendors here.
Oh, okay.
Duke was getting a meeting octopi.
Interesting.
Luckily for you, I had to run out to get my phone because the card machine isn't working on my phone, so I was going to try and Venmo her.
Oh, well, ask her to call me as soon as she uh as soon as you go back in there because I got to ask her kind of an important question. If you could, please.
If you wait on the line, I can
Okay.
be in there shortly.
Oh, all right then.
Hold on.
Yep. At this point, I don't care what it tastes like. Honey's a good thing. I have raw honey here, which is supposed to be even better because it's not broken down and it's not Doesn't have all that fake stuff in it. All right, guys. Sorry. Yeah, we're gonna try the therapy now and see what happens. Oh yeah, it is gross, Fupa. It's gross. I'll tell you right now, you guys, it's disgusting. I don't want to gross anybody out. I blew my nose yesterday when I first woke up, and I blew it hard, and it was like the color of your guys' names that are members, the membership green. It was so gross. Cayenne does help. Yeah, I've been doing ginger in my tea and all sorts of stuff. I don't know if I can handle the cayenne because I have problems with hot stuff like that now. I'm definitely going to try the Theraflu and see what happens, if nothing else. Yeah, it was definitely infection. Mucus plug. That's funny movie. Yeah, it was more green than yellow. That was the problem. That's why I knew it was a pretty good infection. It was nasty. Anyway, not to gross anybody out, but little drinks of Frank's hot sauce. That's funny. That is funny. I love Frank's too. It's the only kind I buy. That and we have the Cholula hot sauce too. We like hot sauce. I can't eat anything like cayenne pepper or anything super hot, but I can do little bits of like because I'll put like little bits and pieces, little drops of like hot sauce on my eggs and stuff like that. So we have it. My son, they like a lot of hot shit, but it tears my stomach up. Uh huh. Yeah, those are real cute, aren't they? Jalapenos. That'll definitely open your sinuses up. That's for sure. I used to love all that stuff. You eat it all the time. I just can't do it anymore. Crystal. Yeah, that stuff is pretty good too. There was a restaurant we had around here we used to go to after we would go out drinking. We'd go to there afterwards, and they made these gigantic omelets that were amazing. And they had the crystal hot sauce. It's pretty good. My apologies for my voice, guys. It's going in and out, so just bear with me. I do have Flonase, I think. I don't know how that dries everything out in your nose, though, doesn't it? Uh, yeah, red is really bad for sure. Mine's on that yellow green color there. Mine's in between yellow green. Yeah. Yep. Oh, I bet that'd be good, Fupa. With the crystal hot sauce, doing like a yeah, that would be good. I can imagine. I'll be right back. Give me a second, guys. Let me grab this nasal spray stuff. Sorry, guys. I'm back. Non-drazy fluticus spray allowed you to relieve nasal spray. Well, I have. If you guys can read it. Maybe not. Makes it blurry. Welcome, Liza. Mine's the same thing. And Pamela, good to see you. Life, love, and true crime. So great to have you here as always. Let's see what we got going on here. Kelly's in the house. What's up? Good to see you. Lisa is okay. She's been here for the past few days. Kelly. Today, of course, would be the day she's not. Good to see you, sis. How are you doing, by the way, hon? I've been thinking about you. I hope you're doing all right. Yes, she is good. Well, she was. I hope she still is. Hold on, everybody. I'm sorry. Where you at, Lisa? Can't disappear on me. Maybe she's sleeping, guys. Let's see. What time is it? It is like 5, 6 in the afternoon, in the evening over there, maybe. She should still be awake unless she is napping. She is a beautiful person, Poopa, inside and out. She has a beautiful soul, beautiful spirit. Amazing. I love her to death. And I just love having her here. I think we do great together. I've been told by multiple people that we're a very good combo when she co-hosts with me. So I'm very comfortable and with her. She's a very good friend of mine. And I have her from what she says. We're very close. And we're very good together, I feel, and I'm very, very comfortable with her here. So, and I've had, like I said, multiple comments from people that state how they love us together. So she's basically, as far as I'm concerned, she's my regular co-host. Um, we love having you here, Poopa. Oh, that's awesome, Kelly. Good. Something good. I'm glad to hear something good come from you. Congratulations. 7 years. That's great. Big city. Gotta love it. Good for you, hon. You deserve that. You really do. I am super happy for you guys. Let him know that too. Congratulations to both of you. I'm glad to hear something positive coming from you. Absolutely, Fupa. Salt Lake City. Sounds like a plan for sure. Absolutely, my dear. No thanks needed. You deserve it more than anybody. You really do. You've been through a lot of crap in a very short period of time. Absolutely. Get all dressed up. Bonnie Bailey's in the house. Good to see you, my dear. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, you really do, Kel. I'm glad to hear that. I am so excited for you. You deserve something like this. Good. Absolutely, Kelly. Absolutely. Oh, I'm sorry, Poopa. Damn. I'm so sorry. I'll have to check that out, Molly. Yeah, I am too. I'm really excited for you, Kelly. With everything you've gone through lately, I mean, you deserve something fun and something just for you. Enjoy yourself, my dear. Please do. And make sure you let us know all about how everything went. Well, that's good, Fupa. I'm glad to hear that. But still, I've been with this beautiful lady in my life for 21 years. Um, we just had May 7th, we had our. Oh, Lord, thank God she's not here. I'd get kicked in the head. 16 year wedding anniversary. Good afternoon, Miss Heather. Good to see you, my dear. Please do, Miss Kelly. That's awesome. I can't wait to hear about it. I hope you have a blast. That's how we are. 21 years together, 16 married. Good for you, Schmovie. I am so happy for you, Kelly. I really am. I've been worried about you. I'll be honest with you. I've been saying extra prayers for you because you've just gone through so much. You're such a strong-willed lady, and I was so upset with everything you've been going through. But I'm glad you're finally getting some positivity. Welcome everybody. We got some for those of you not in chat that are just hanging out. I guess we call it lurking. Welcome to, by the way. It's so great to have you here. I appreciate all you guys. Yeah, as long as you're happy, Fupa, that's what I that's all I ask for. Yeah, May is a big month for us too. May is my oldest daughter's birthday. She's May 5th. Um, May 7th is my wedding anniversary. May 17th is my other son's birthday. May 21st is my other son's birthday. There's something else at the very end of May. I can't think of it right now, but it's a big month. We love you as well, Miss Kelly. We do. I am super happy for you right now. I'm glad to hear that. Well, I guess we may not have Miss Lisa today. She might be busy. She said something about a birthday party today. So, and thank you, Miss Heather, my dear. I really appreciate that very much. I definitely use it right now. I need to get some more chicken broth to make some the other day, and all I could find was beef. I was so mad. When I'm like this, I drink chicken broth like it's coffee, guys. I really do. So thank you, Miss Heather. 36 years, 32 married. He is so lucky. Yes, he is. He is, Cat. He is so lucky. He's a lucky gentleman. And I'm sure you are too. I'm sure you're a lucky lady as well to have him. Well, Liza, as you've seen with the title, we're down in a hole. Miss Lisa was supposed to be with us because we were going to try to finish up what we were talking about yesterday. Finally. But there's some new things that were added in the next over the last 24 hours. So yes, any of you ladies that are in here, any gentleman that you are with has to be the luckiest guy in the world because you guys are awesome. You're all so beautiful, sweet souls, and amazing people, and I love you guys to death. So you guys are all, uh, whoever your better halves or your worse halves, however you call it, are very lucky to have you guys. And that goes for the guys too, Mike and well, Mike and Popper and all you, the few guys that I have in here, and Strike First, his husband, you know. So you guys, whoever your spouses are some very lucky people because I have some. I'm very lucky to have all of you in here, as I've said. So chicken soup with veggies and yep, yes, that's a fact, Miss Liza. That is a fact. I hope I'm pronouncing it Liza is correct. Is it Liza or Lisa? Because I know that that is said both ways, and I have that here. But every time I see your name, I think of Liza Minnelli. So I don't know how to say it, and if I don't want to butcher it. That's how I am with my wife too. My first marriage didn't even exist as far as I'm concerned, you guys. And it was 9.5 years. I did make some beautiful kids out of it. I'll say that much. Beautiful children. I love my children to death. You guys know that. But there was no kind of a relationship. I'll be honest with you. It was nothing but, not to be ignorant or talk bad about anything, but it's like Liza Minnelli. Okay, good, Liza. It was a purely, basically a sexual relationship. That's all it was. I mean, we really didn't have anything else than that, guys. We were really young, you know. I was 18, she was 21. And it lasted for 9.5 years. And that's only because of my kids. I would have got out 3 years in when I realized the person she was, it just wasn't safe, but that's what scared me. And I stayed in there for my kids. So, but the woman I'm with now is like my best friend, you know. She's just everything about her is perfect to me. Uh-oh, Molly. I'm curious. Am I curious or maybe not? 45 years, Melissa. Wow. Congratulations. That's awesome. I hope that I'm around for 45 years to be married to this woman because it's just the most wonderful thing in the world to me. That's all right, Fuba. There's somebody out there. You'll find that. It'll be there. Good for you though. 45 years. That's beautiful. I love that. Nope, I didn't see that. The only other story I was following, Molly had brought it to my attention yesterday evening. It was about that little girl. I didn't want to get into it because it's very sad. I was very upset with that story, and it was so quick. It just boom, 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 and it was over with. So it's like, okay, yeah, I heard about that one too. They did catch him, Poopa. Good. That one disgusted me too. Some of these are just too much, you know. Yeah, yes, Poopa. Good. I'm glad they caught him. Definitely. Yeah, for any of you that haven't, please feel free to become a member and jump in the sauce with us. Uh, it's always fun to be down here, floating around. For those of you that have, once again, thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, there is some kind of new info I had. Um, it's really not anything drastic, but I'm trying to stay up with everything. um, there was a comp. Yeah, I saw that, Fupa. Nobody's been arrested. Supposedly there was a warrant issued from Mexico for the one girl, but nothing's happened yet. So, which is why I haven't touched on that because nothing new has come from that yet. I've been kind of waiting around to see what's going to happen, and nothing's happened. So I'm we're trying to get through this. That's beautiful, Melissa. That really is beautiful. I love that. That's kind of how me and my wife were. We went to the same schools together, and like just were in different crowds and hadn't paid attention to each other. I was like literally best friends with her first husband when we were growing up, and then we kind of like grew apart as we got out of high school, and then they got together, and I knew who she was. I always thought she was a gorgeous thing, and we were just in different crowds, so it just didn't fit. So I never like approached her. Um, but believe me, I was always checking her out. And then I ran into her in different times in my life. It was very weird. While I was in my first marriage, we ended up moving near them, and while she lived, she was divorced at that time, and she was at the same bus stop as me and my kids were, and I'd be out there. Welcome, Cindy. Good to see you. Oh, thank you very much. And I just, again, always thought she was just so beautiful, such a sweet person. I always loved talking to her. And then when I got divorced, I moved in and right across the street from her. That's how we knew it was meant to be. It was so weird. And her kids and my kids were friends, and they had been all through school. And I became a babysitter. And then me and her became really good friends. And then 21 years later, here we are, and I could not live my life without this woman. I really couldn't. I love everything about her. Like I said, when she walks in the door from being at work all day, I still get the butterfly feelings when I'm around her. I love everything about her, guys. She is the absolute love of my life, my soulmate. I could never imagine anyone else in my life but her. So I'm grateful to God every day that this woman is with me. Damn, Schmooby, you was a busy lady, huh? That's awesome, though. I love that. Thank you, Miss Vicky. Thank you so much. I am very blessed, Melissa. There's no other way to say it. I am very blessed. And one night I went out. We had just started dating, truthfully. Well, about 3 months into it, when I realized I fell in love with her. This is a cute story to me, at least. I love it. I think I had said before, my wife's grandmother, well, most of her family, a lot of them, they own bars, and her grandmother owned a bar, and she would work for her grandmother here and there to help out and stuff like that. Well, one night her grandmother needed her, and we were spending time together. Neither one of us had our children. They were with the other parents for that weekend. So I went down there and hung out while she was working. And she had this little jumper outfit on and a little visor and stuff with her blonde hair flowing everywhere. And a song came on the jukebox by, what is her name? You guys are going to have to help me with this so I can give you the full story. The song was by Leanne Rhymes, I think. It's the song for Can't Fight the Moonlight. It was in that movie. Come on. Coyote Ugly, I think. The song from that movie where the bartenders, the girls are dancing on the bar and all that kind of stuff like that, right? So my wife loves this song. And she's working behind the bar, and I'm sitting at the corner with a couple other people that I knew that went in there. And we're just talking this and that, and I'm watching her. And that song kicks on, and she starts dancing around behind the bar. Yes, Molly, thank you. And she's just happy. She's always a happy, bubbly person, okay? She's dancing around behind the bar while she's making drinks and stuff like that. I'm just watching her. She turned and she looked at me, and she kind of smiled. Then she went back to what she was doing, and she bounces on down a little bit further, and I just keep watching her, watching her. And one of her friends was sitting like 4 or 5 people away from me, and she was watching me. I didn't know that. She gets up and walks over to me, and she leans in and she whispers in my ear, and she goes, "You got it, don't you?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" And she nodded towards Brandy and she said, for her. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, you love her, don't you? And I looked at her friend and I was like, just as she said that, I realized that I was in love with this woman. And I just, the feeling rushed over me like a download of anxiety. I just felt real hot from the head down. It was crazy. And just as I felt that way, she turned and looked at me and she smiled this real pretty smile. And I said, oh my God. And I mouthed to her, I was scared to death because we'd only been together for like 3 months, literally. She just looked at me and smiled and she kind of cocked her head because I must have this look on my face. And I mouthed the words, I love you to her. And she blushed and she smiled this huge smile and she mouthed it back and said, I love you too. And that was it. I knew. And the funny thing, guys, I never had a feeling like that. I had feelings for my first wife. Don't get me wrong, because I'm not one of them people that would just jump into something like that. But then I never felt like I have felt for this woman for any other woman in my life. It's crazy. It's I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I was too, Schmovie. I had some goofy. That's what her friend said. She's like, "Fix your face. Fix your face." What are you talking about? Just fix your face. I'm like, okay. So that is how me and the love of my life got together. I can't imagine my life without her. Not even for a minute. You guys, some of you guys were here when she left. She was gone on vacation for 5 days, and I couldn't go, and I was insane without her. Completely insane. But that is my lady. I love everything about her too, even her faults. I can't seem to find them, guys. I don't know where they're at, but she's got some somewhere. Yep. She's got to be, first of all, she's absolutely stunningly gorgeous. Um, she's smart. She's got the biggest heart in the world. Um, I mean, what else is there? She puts up with all my crazy stuff, and she always has. And she's the one that supported me doing this whole disability thing that I didn't want to do for whatever reasons, and she pushed me to do this. Um, so I do everything I possibly can because she's the only one working. I do whatever I can for her. And we very rarely ever have any kind of disagreement. We used to years ago when we first started, but we brought two families together. But she is the love of my life. I can't even explain the feeling, you guys. It goes beyond any way to speak about it. I'm still working on it, Schmoopy. I got to go to court next sometime soon, and that should be the end of it. Believe me. My attorney says I'm gonna get it, but it just takes forever. Pain in the rump. Well, it looks like I got most everybody in here that I'm probably going to get today. It doesn't look like Miss Lisa's coming, and that's okay. I appreciate that, Schmooby. I do, because we really need it. There's a lot of reasons why we need it. I'll be honest with you. First of all, I want to take some of the pressure off of her, and I need to catch up on some things too, and stop struggling like this. Yeah, I don't see anything from Lisa, so I guess it's going to have to be how it is. So, well, thank you guys for the kind words. I appreciate that. It does take some time. Thank God I got an attorney. I'll just say that. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Let's see here. What do I got? I did get father of one of the victims. It says was There was a news story with News Nation that was working on the locks to the house before this happened. I got a lot of News Nation stuff. I'm going to show you guys. These are just the
Xana Kernodle's mom, Kara.
These are the updates. And I have an interview from Xana's mother.
She just joined us on the telephone with her.
Yes, definitely the Rabbit Holes movie. Definitely. Maybe I should give you guys that real quick. The interview with Xana's mother. And it's hard to listen to in some senses, but it does make sense in others. There's some interesting points in here.
Kernodle's.
Let me give you that real quick, guys. There are some interesting things I didn't know I learned from this interview too, just so you know.
Mom, Kara Denise Northington, is on the phone with me now. Kara, can you hear me okay?
Thank you, Heather. Thank you.
Can I just ask you off the bat how...
By the way, anybody that has donated to the Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, I want to thank you. My whole family thanks you from the bottom of my heart. How helpful it's been. You have no idea. Absolutely. And it is so very helpful. We appreciate that more than you know. It's very hard, Cindy, to listen to some of it because it was sad. Yep. That's exactly it, Vicky. That was the other part of it too. I heard that too, Fupa. Her dad spoke for her. And spoke about her, Fupa. I did see that. So but this is her mother, guys. I'll let you listen to this. But again, guys, thank you for those of you that have donated to that. We all appreciate that here so much. It is so very helpful. Like I said, at this time right now, it's very useful. It's helping with everything. So thank you guys so much.
You are getting by in this terribly sorrowful time?
Not very easily. Not good. I mean, I don't know how to say to that.
I can't even imagine the pain that you and your family are going through.
Let me know if the volume's okay,
Have the
guys.
police been helpful to you, Kara, to understand some of the things they can and can't say?
Honestly, no. Honestly, no. They haven't said anything. I learn more on the news and on TV than they have said to me.
Have you?
And that's sad. I know that, I know how law enforcement works, but they should at least give the family members something, something. The sweetest lady on the internet has joined us. Hello, Miss Cece. It's so great to see you. Thank you for joining us today. And Tony, welcome back, brother. It's good to have you here. That is a very good point, and I mentioned that yesterday. How were the police able to clear so many people within 72 hours of the investigation? Ex-boyfriend, food truck guys, how did they clear these people? And how did so many people have an alibi for 4 o'clock a.m.? Just like Squirrel said, it seems impossible. Very good point, Tony. As always, Tony is on point with his information, guys. Thank you so much for that, Tony.
You had a chance to talk with some of the other parents of the other 3 kids who were there that night and share information amongst yourselves?
Not really, honestly. I've just been dealing with my family and we've just been absorbing.
Welcome, Mama Bear.
Can you tell me, Kara, what you do know about this terrible night?
Well, what I do know is not nearly enough. We need more answers. There is so much more that can be done.
Sorry, guys.
That has not been done. And I just know that there's GPS, NASA to find out who went into that home that night. I know that. Why hasn't that been looked into? Why hasn't that been accessed?
Hold on.
Kara, can I ask you that there is a mysterious sort of 4-hour and 45-minute block of time that's unaccounted for by the police timeline. The police say that that your daughter Xana and her boyfriend Ethan were at the Sigma Chi house from 8 until 9 p.m., but then they don't have any information on where they were from 9 p.m. till 1:45 a.m. Do you know anything about that from either your information from the police or Ethan's family or anybody?
I may be candid in saying this, but I think that they were at a bar.
And where do you get that information from? Did someone tell you that they'd gone from the Sigma Chi house to a bar before they ended up home?
That's what their father conveyed to me, that he thought that they were at the bar at that night. So, yeah, I mean, that's what college kids do on the weekends. So.
But you don't know for sure that they left the Sigma Chi house, went to a
sure.
bar?
I
Okay.
don't know for sure, absolutely not.
And have the police asked you any questions about where Xana might have been, or if she texted you, or if she had, if she'd communicated with any family members in that period of time?
No, no answers whatsoever. Whatsoever, really.
Right.
I asked the investigators when they come and spoke to me. They were not able to offer me any answers. None.
Can I ask you, Xana's sister Jasmine has put such a beautiful tribute to Xana on her Instagram. And I wonder if she has any additional information, just perhaps from being able to access her sister's social media or her phone. Has Jasmine been able to ascertain any other details of what happened that night, or where Xana and Ethan were that night?
No, I'm not going to speak for Jasmine. You would have to ask her that yourself. And she's going through it right now without her sister. And I'm sure if she had any answers or any information, she's already conveyed that to the investigators.
Yeah, it's true, Liza.
May I ask you if
absolutely, Cindy? There's a
you
lot
can
off.
confirm that Xana's room was on the second floor of the house?
Yes, I can confirm that. And
and was it on? Sorry.
I just had a question about the other two roommates who were there on the first floor, and I just wonder, wasn't something heard, or the surviving roommates that were there, they had to have heard something, they had to have the dog something.
This is so hard for me to hear, you guys. I'll be honest with you, it is. There's been so many mistakes made with this via law enforcement, the district attorney's office, so on and so forth. Yesterday, they said in the same sentence, they said that the murders all happened on the third floor. Then they turned around and said that was wrong, and that there was one on the second floor, two on the second floor, two on the third floor. I mean, they're getting so screwed up with this case. It's crazy. Yeah, I heard that, Cindy. I really did. So yeah, that'll happen, Squirrel. It's worth it though, because chili is amazing. I love it. So, but yeah, this is hard to listen to because she's having such a rough time. I feel really bad for her, and I know she's got other issues, and I think that this has triggered those. It's very sad. Very sad. But it does give some information that's important. So, and again, there's the house, the setup, so on and so forth. So, which I think we've already looked at a couple times.
I can help you with that somewhat. There is information from a prior tenant who lived on the first floor.
Now, this is what irritates me, and this is what I'm saying is sad. Sorry to keep interrupting, but she's getting news about what happened to her daughter from a news source, from the media, not from the police. That's what I'm saying. That's what bugs me about her, this situation. It's crazy. Sorry.
Who said when he lived there in 2019, he moved out. He said he could never hear
Cindy.
anything on the second or third floor. If the television was playing very loudly on the second floor, he might hear it from the first floor. And I don't know if that helps you to understand.
the dog heard it, and the dog had to have been barking. You know,
I have information there as well. That I've got information there as well. Our Brian Enton spoke with the parents of Kaylee Gonzalez, and they have actually referred to that. And Brian's going to play that interview in a moment. But Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen on that first floor may not have been able to hear anything, according to the prior tenant, who said it was extremely difficult to hear because of the construction of that house. But I do want to ask you, if I can, Kara, was your daughter Xana's room on the right side of the house if you're looking from the parking lot, or on the left side across from the kitchen?
I can't answer that. I can't.
But you do know she was on the.
I never went there yet, so I don't know.
But you know she was on the second floor. Do you know if she looked out the front of the house or the back of the house?
I believe in the front, but I can't confirm. Like I said, I haven't been down to visit it yet. So I tried to go last month, but she was in class while I was down there. So.
Okay, our viewers are looking at the front of the house right now, and the window that I'm referring to is on the second story in the front of the house, and that's where we are, triangulating that perhaps that's where Xana and Ethan were that night. I do want to ask you if you know whether or not Xana had a lock on her bedroom door.
I believe she did, yes.
Do you know if it was a lock that was a code that you would punch in on the bedroom door? The prior tenant who used to live there said that every one of the doors in that home, all 6 bedrooms, were rented separately like apartments, and they all had coded locks. But lots of social media pictures have shown at least one of the locks on the door across from the kitchen on the second floor. It didn't appear to have a coded lock. But do you think that Xana's room had a coded lock?
I believe it did. Her father mentioned to me that he had just went and replaced the lock the weekend before.
You said her father mentioned to you that they had replaced the lock?
Yes, that he had fixed it or something. But yeah, he said that he had fixed it the week before, just to make sure
The week before.
Yeah.
So that's the lock
No,
on
Sherry,
her
they're
own
not.
bedroom
And
door,
welcome,
not
by
the
the
lock
way,
to the
hon.
outside of the house. That's her
I
own bedroom door's lock?
The main lock he was referring to.
I agree, Cindy.
I'm
I agree.
not sure, just from telling me that when we were speaking. So.
But you're talking about Jeff, right? Jeff Kernodle, Xana's dad?
Yeah. Absolutely, yes.
And he had been there just a couple weeks before working on a lock, but you're not sure what door.
Just the weekend before, and he went to meet Ethan's parents, and went to check on Xana, and it was Dad Week at WSU for Jasmine, so he was over there, and they're pretty close schools. Pullman and Moscow are fairly short distance away
On
from
the
each other.
mic's in the house. What's up, brother? Good
Did
to have
Xana's car have Arizona plates?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
These are facts, Mike. These are facts.
She used to live in Arizona, though, right?
I believe she got the car in Arizona, so that's highly likely, yes.
Do you know what kind of car she was driving?
I don't.
And you mentioned about the roommates, the surviving roommates.
Amen,
Have
brother.
you had any opportunity to contact them? Do you or Jeff or Xana's sister, Jasmine, do you have their contact information? Are you able to call them to talk to them?
I agree, bub. I agree.
Jasmine and Jeff
Especially
are
with the way
in
this woman's
contact with
feeling
them
right
there.
now.
They were all at the memorial today. Yeah.
And what did those girls, Bethany and Dylan, say to Xana's dad and her sister about that morning when they woke up and came upstairs? What did they tell
What's up, brother?
Jeff and Jasmine?
I don't know. You would have to ask them.
What does that matter? What did they say?
Sorry.
I mean, come on.
Do you know, Kara, if Dylan and Bethany came upstairs and were trying to wake Xana? Because they were trying to wake one of their roommates. Do you know if it was your daughter they were trying to wake?
I don't have that answer either. I'm sorry.
It's okay. And did they say
Stop
that they
asking her
could
questions
not
like that.
get beyond a locked door And that's why they had no idea what was on the other side of the bedroom door and called in an unconscious person?
I believe that's right.
What do you know about that?
What doesn't
That
matter.
they called it an unconscious person. I know that. But beyond that, I don't
We already
know.
know. I know, Liza. I know they're
So
looking for
it's
answers
hard
to
for you
things,
to
but
understand as well why,
in the
if
state
there
that
was
this
such
woman is in, let it
terrible
go.
crime that had been committed, the roommates might not have seen the evidence of that crime.
Absolutely, yes.
Have they told you at all, Kara, when you can retrieve your daughter's things from that house?
Not yet, no.
Very, very true, Cindy. Very true.
I want to ask you if you can
And
for
that
us,
is a
Kara,
fact, squirrel.
about Xana.
Yes,
what would
it's
you
at-
like people to know about your daughter?
Yeah, this is Ashley Banfield, and normally I typically like her, okay, but she's being, I don't know what it is. She's been very insensitive with this case and the questions and stuff like this interview alone, especially. She's just not like, I don't know. News Nation has been off with this whole case. Typically, they're on key. They were very good with Gabby's case, so on and so forth. But I mean, like this, they've just been off, and I don't know if it's the information they're getting and how they're getting it, but they've just been off. Brian Enton's been off. She's been off with different things. I'm very disappointed in this interview and the way she's questioning this woman. I know that they want to get the information, but they're not being sensitive to these people's emotions, and the fact that, okay, and I'm not talking down about anybody. This woman obviously has, we looked at, I looked it up. She has had some drug issues. Okay, everybody knows that there's triggers that trigger that kind of stuff. Ashley knows that this woman was arrested because of this type of thing. Okay. Let's not trigger it more by pushing. This woman's crying while she's talking. This interview was done the day of the memorial, or the memorial. And I just welcome Sandy. Good to see you. And I don't like the way that they're doing this. I really don't. I don't like it. So it is what it is. I'm just saying, guys. I'm sorry to interrupt it again.
We've seen pictures,
right, Vicky,
and we've
that's
seen
what I'm
social
saying.
media, but you know her heart. What would you like everyone to know about her?
Xana, if you knew Xana, you knew
that's a fact,
what
Tony.
a light she was to
That's a
everybody.
fact. No, I appreciate it, brother. It's great to have you here
She was
too.
just such a positive influence
Absolutely
on
great.
everybody around her. I honestly, and I'm not saying this because I'm her mother and biased, it's just the truth. There's nothing negative you could say about her. She was just such a good soul. And she cared. She deeply cared about her friends and her family. And she would never hurt anybody. I don't understand who would want to do anything to any of these kids. They were all great, great kids, and they were all good friends, lifelong friends.
And that being said, you guys, even if they weren't great kids, they were kids. They were 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 years old, whatever their ages were. They were just starting their lives. I don't care what they did, short of murdering somebody. Nobody deserves this, you guys. There's not even a reason to put that out there like that, because it's not. This poor woman, I swear to God, like, it sounds like Ashley's trying to have some kind of compassion, and at the same time, she's still asking these questions, like, let it be, give some condolences to her and so on and so forth. And then just give her the option to say what she knows. Don't go ask her these, can you just, can you tell us what you know about this? If she tells you, fine. If she doesn't, you don't know it. Let it be. That's all it is. That's all I'm saying. So, I agree, Fupa. Independent definitely is a better scenario. So, and that's why we do what we do, you guys. I think we have a lot more compassion, at least most of us do, than what true media does. And it's sad, but it is what it is. So I don't know.
Even, aside from Ethan, and
Facts.
Ethan was such a
Facts,
great
squirrel.
kid too.
Facts.
I just, no parent should ever go through this.
Oh my God.
These
God
kids
bless
were
you.
good kids. I don't want
Have you had a chance?
What to do this.
Have you had a chance to speak with Ethan's parents?
No, not yet.
Are you going to have a chance to speak with them?
I'm sure I will, yes.
I do have another question, and that is what we are all trying to figure out what the police mean when they say they believe this was a targeted attack. They've gone back and forth about whether it was the kids inside the house or the house, and now they've really rested on the statement that they believe it's a targeted attack. They don't know if it's the kids or the home itself that was targeted, but do you have any thoughts at all about why that house might be targeted or why any of the 5 roommates might be targeted?
I do not think it was the house that was targeted. I believe wholeheartedly that it was those kids who were targeted.
Absolutely, Liza.
They weren't just acquaintances. These kids were like best friends.
And here it comes. And this is the only thing about this interview that I like. She's on point, guys. Listen to this part coming up because I feel the exact same way. Whoever's saying that this house was targeted is an idiot. I'm sorry. No offense to anybody. You know that I don't mean that personally, if that's what they believe, but it's dumb. It is dumb. Listen closely to what she's getting ready to say. This is super, super important, and it makes 100% sense, guys.
They practically were family. These kids were tight. Those kids who were targeted.
Okay, right here.
They weren't just acquaintances. These kids were like best friends. They practically were family.
All of them.
These kids were tight knit. They were good friends. They were like family. They were around each other constantly. They did everything together. How could it not be a planned thing? How could it not have been targeted? For all 4 of
Do
them.
you know, Kara, do you know anything about Kaylee moving out? Do you know if she had already moved out of the house when this happened, or was she in the process of moving out because she was graduating in?
Okay, just to set this straight, Kaylee had already moved a bunch of her stuff out, which is the reason why she was sleeping in bed with Maddie. There was no bed there for her. She was graduating. She was a senior. She was graduating. She already had a job in Pittsburgh. Okay. She just bought the new car so she could travel. The 6th roommate has not been named, Daisy, but that girl, it was a female, moved out back in August, I believe, before the school year even started. Okay, so that's why there was an empty bedroom. So Kaylee was already moved out. She had come back here to show Maddie, her best friend, the new car, and just to hang out one last time because she was graduating. She was moving on. She was done. She got a job. She was starting her life as an adult, out of school and everything. She should not have been there, just as well as Ethan should not have been there. Okay. Or Texas, not Pittsburgh. I'm sorry. I was looking at something that said Pittsburgh on it. Sorry. Thank you, Liza. But yeah, so that's what happened. That's why she was not supposed to be there. Done. Like, I don't know how I know this and they don't, but anyway, that's what it is. Okay. So that's what that's all about. For those of you that don't know or hadn't heard, I read up on it, and that's what it was. That's why she was in bed with Maddie, sadly. Which makes me wonder now. I was thinking about this last night a lot. It's hard to pinpoint which one of these kids was targeted. Okay. But it makes me, if we knew who was hit first, whether it was Ethan and Xana or if it was Kaylee and Maddie, because I'm wanting to think that maybe it was Maddie. If it was Kaylee and Maddie that were attacked first, that the target was maybe Maddie because Kaylee wasn't supposed to be there. Okay. And that's kind of where I'm going with it at this point right now. But okay, Liza, I will go back and watch that again. Kaylee's father said that her bed was done. Okay. I will go back and look at it again. But yeah, they were just guests there. That's a fact, Fupa. And that's it. Sandy says that, they only had this weekend to do it. And that's very possible that was the scenario, you guys. And that's exactly that drives me nuts, Fupa, as they did it away. You can't tell. You don't know. Sadly, I don't know if that law enforcement, I want to pray. I've been praying that law enforcement has something small that is going to turn them in the right direction to go after, at least something. Because the way they're acting, you guys, it's one of two things, okay? They're either acting like they have something and they're keeping it real close to their chest for a good reason, and I respect that, or they have absolutely nothing. It's one of those two things, you guys, period. And I told you guys that I was very close to this case, and it's driving me nuts. And it is. It really is. I sit here with my pen and paper and notebook and listen, and it's driving me insane. But it's not like bad. I'm not at that point. And we need some kind of an answer to something, just something small to give a direction, because there's no direction with this yet at all. And I'm sadly, I hate to say it because of the way that things have been misinformed, is it seems like that law enforcement doesn't have anything, and that bothers me. So that being said, that's where we're at with it.
In the new year.
Again, that's not a question for me. You may ask her family that. I'm not going to speak for her. I'm sorry.
All right, let me back up in case you guys missed that. Hold on, sorry.
About why that house might be targeted, or why any of the 5 roommates might be targeted.
I do not think it was the house that was targeted. I believe wholeheartedly that it was those kids who were targeted.
No.
They weren't just acquaintances. These
I don't
kids
believe so,
were
Linda.
like best friends. They practically
Hi,
were
Linda.
family. These kids were tight-knit. They were good friends.
No, well, I'm sorry, Linda. You're talking about Shanquella Robinson. No, I'm sorry, hon. This is the 4 students from Idaho that were attacked. That was Shanquella Robinson. There's nothing new on that. That's why we haven't really been on it. I'm trying to get through as much of this as I can. It's been 3 days now. We've been trying to get through it. There's so much with it, and they always add something different every day. So, but thank you for asking, Linda. I appreciate that, and welcome. It's good to have you.
They were like family. They were around each other constantly. They did everything together. How could it not be a planned thing?
Exactly.
How could it not have been targeted?
Thank you, Heather. Thank you so much.
For all 4 of
Do
them
you know, Kara, do you know anything about Kaylee moving out? Do you know if she had already moved out of the house when this happened, or was she in the process of moving out because she was graduating in the new year?
Again, that's not a question for me. You may ask her family that. I'm not going to speak for her. I'm sorry.
I think the reason I ask is because I'm just wondering if her room was vacant, if the furniture was gone.
Yeah, I don't know.
She doesn't
I'm
know.
sorry.
Right. Do you also know anything about? Did Xana ever say anything about problems at the campus? Maybe talk of a stalker. There's been talk that maybe Kaylee had a stalker. Her dad said that Kaylee had told him that she had a stalker or a problem with
I'm
a
so
stalker.
sorry,
The police
Miss
haven't been
Linda.
able to run anything down. But did
praying for you
Xana ever
guys.
say anything?
Kaylee was an absolute beautiful, beautiful girl. And wouldn't surprise me if all of these beautiful kids that we lost had stalkers, okay? They were all like
A good
rock
point.
stars on Instagram and all the social media.
Very good point.
They're vibrant, outgoing kids. You can hardly be on social media anymore without gaining some kind of weird stalker.
Thank you,
that
Life,
wouldn't
Love, and
surprise
True
me.
Crime. I
don't
appreciate
think
that,
that's
hon.
what it was, though. I will be honest with you. I think it's closer than that. I think it's deeper than that. I think I think they have information that they're not giving us, and it's real fishy. That's what I will say.
When you say you think it goes deeper than that, what do you mean?
I mean, I think it was somebody closer than a stalker. And I don't know who. I'm not gonna specify anything like that. I'm just going to say I think that it was somebody, you know, and I think possibly they may have trusted. That's the only thing I can think of, because how could something like this happen so quickly, so quietly, so without any answer, unless it was somebody super close.
Tony, I'm not exactly sure. That one I don't know. I do know that it was very close to the fraternity house. Very close, like within a couple minutes walk. There was a pathway that led off the driveway to the house that went all over the place. Like you could walk off in a direction from that path to get anywhere, guys, within seconds, minutes, whatever you want to say. But like I said, nobody has come off of my list. My list is still there. Whoever cleared, I don't care who they cleared, they're still on my list, guys. I have people on there that probably shouldn't be on there because this case is so crazy. Nothing is off the table, as I said yesterday. It's like a 3-minute, yeah, Pam, it's like a 3-minute walk in any direction to everything. It literally is, no lie. Brian Etten walked it, and he was like, okay, I'm going to go from here to here. And it was like, boom, boom, boom. He was there. And then Ashley was even like, that was very quick, you know, is it that close? And he said, absolutely. Everything's that close. So, you know, if you turn around and walk the other direction, there's an apartment building that has 60 to 80 people living in it. That's right next to the house. Okay. I mean, there's so many different options and so many ways that people could walk in and out of that house and nobody's going to see them because of the directions they could be going. And that is what the deal is with this. Okay. I appreciate the question. I absolutely do, Tony, because it's a great question. It really is. It very much is. So keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. That's what this is all about. I'm telling you. Eventually, we're going to find something and point something out that's going to make sense because nobody else is doing it. You know, all of the true crimers out here are doing the same thing right now because nobody else is doing it. Law enforcement's not doing it. And if they are, they're not telling us. And I do respect that, but nobody's doing it. So, you know, people like this woman right here, she deserves some kind of information. She deserves some kind of something so she can have a little bit of closure, guys. They need this. These families need this. And once again, being the voice for the voiceless, these kids definitely don't have a voice and nobody's giving them one. So this is why we do what we do.
You know what I mean?
Do you think the person who did this had been in that house before?
I agree, Alexis.
I think they knew them. I think they may have even been friends with them. I think it had to have been somebody close to them to have been able to.
There it is. Now, this is coming from a parent to one of the children, okay? I'm telling you, I agree with it. I do. I agree with it. Frat initiations, frat pranks, all of that kind of stuff. You're absolutely right, Fupa. Things can go wrong. People get embarrassed. Humiliation causes a very strong emotion to become violence. I've seen it, okay? Remember that. Humiliation is an emotion that can cause violence. Don't forget that.
To get away with it like this. Just without, you know, it just doesn't make sense. None of this makes any sense. It had to have been somebody they trusted that was, you know what I mean? I mean, somebody who knew the house well, somebody who knew them well.
Kara, I cannot tell you how
so quickly without a trace.
I can't tell you just how sorry I am for what you're going through and the parents of the other kids. I said it before, I'll say it again. It's unimaginable. Just know that there are hundreds of thousands of people across this country tonight who are feeling for you as well. You know, in spirit, you are not alone. There are a lot of people who care deeply for
I think
you
it's
and your
blue.
family, and they want
What
justice
was the
for your
main color,
daughter.
Molly?
I know, and I thank everyone so much for that. Xana's death will not be in vain. We are going to find who did this. I will not take my final breath until this person is found and brought to justice for these kids, not just my daughter, but these kids and their families and their friends. We all deserve answers, and the person needs to be brought to justice.
Yes, ma'am.
I wish you and your
I'm here,
family
squirrel.
peace of mind. And I hope that we can, you know, bring you answers soon. Kara, thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you for telling us your story tonight. We'll continue to highlight Xana's story as well and her beautiful life, as you mentioned. It's very evident on Instagram and social media just how vibrant she was and how beautiful she was. And she made a mark on this world while she was here. Thank you so much, Kara, for being with us tonight.
Can I say one last thing?
Yes.
If there is someone out there, I know there is, that has answers. Please, we all beg you, please, don't be afraid. Please, just tell somebody.
Yes, ma'am.
We
I can,
deserve that
squirrel.
much. Please.
I think you're absolutely right. Someone out there knows something. And it behooves anybody with any small detail even to come forward and tell the police what you know. It could be the smallest piece of the puzzle.
Even if you think it's nothing, it is something. I promise you, it's something. Because
Anything.
right now we have nothing.
Everything and anything is
Kara
something.
Denise Northington, thank you for being with us. I think, you know, maybe we can talk again as we all plod through this investigation and the developments. But I'll repeat it. I do wish you peace and serenity in this very difficult time.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And
that poor woman is in so much pain. I feel so bad for her right now. And absolutely, squirrel. I will absolutely do that for you, my dear. No worries whatsoever. Yeah, that does happen, Alexis. It does everywhere. It happens. It's happened where I'm at. Multiple times. Sadly, it's sad to say, but yeah. See, Tony says, Chief Detective Dago. That's funny. I appreciate it though. You mentioned humiliation. Was Ethan's triplet brother humiliated because he had to take his sister as a date to frat party? Well, I see. I don't know, and I'd like to know that situation. I have a very high curiosity towards the frat house, guys. I really do. I said that yesterday and the day before. We're all a little strange, Poop, but don't worry about that. And I don't know if he did it because he wanted to do it or if he was forced to do it. So we don't know that. That's one of the things. We don't know these things. And that's what makes this so hard. Literally. In it, that's why I'm saying, even if we had something small to go with, you know, I agree. That's a good point, Shmovie. I really think they should too. Honest to God, I do. They pulled DNA from the house and nothing's hitting on the CRAD system. Okay, obviously this person's never been in trouble before. It's never been there was no hits. Okay, that's okay. That's fine. Either they've never been caught or they've never done this before. It's hard for me to believe they've never done it before because of the way it was done, but it's very possible. Now, you know, if nothing hit on the CAD system, that means that they need to start pulling DNA from everything. They should clear that whole house. That's my opinion. They should tap everybody in that house. And if somebody refuses it, there's a red flag. Anybody that will refuse to give DNA is a red flag, in my opinion. I don't want to hear about human rights. I don't want to hear about personal space or any of that. Personal beliefs. At this point right now, I don't want to hear none of that. Everybody should be cooperative in this situation, and that's where the police should be with this. They should be going at everybody that was on campus that week and pulling DNA. It's going to take a lot of work, but there's enough people, there's enough agencies involved. That's what they need to be doing, because they're not going to find that DNA anywhere. And I believe, what I understand is they did find different DNA than what belonged to the people that was in that house. Okay, so that's the only way they're going to get anything, you guys. It's going to take a lot of work, and it's a pain in the ass, I'm sure, but what else are they going to do? What else could they possibly do? There's nothing. That is the only way they're going to get anything, and that they need to start doing it now. They should have been doing it, in my opinion. The first place I'd go, in my opinion, is through the frat house and just boom, 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 one after another, and go from there. And while they're going through the frat house, look at people's hands and their faces and see who has scratches or marks or anything. If they may not. The person that did this may not. But it's just one of them things that they need to look for in a case like this. And that's just it, I absolutely agree with that, Daisy. It should be mandated from anybody and everybody that has anything to do with that campus, period, at this point. I would think so too, Molly. I don't see a judge not signing off on that. I don't. Thank you very much, Heather. Because the longer this goes on, guys, the longer this drags out, the further away that person could be getting. If they might be so ballsy, guys, that they're standing right there. They could be right in front of everybody, but we don't know. And, they should have started a long time ago with this. That way, if anybody was going to leave, but it is what it is. It's very frustrating, I can only imagine what these families are going through. I don't want to, but I can only imagine. It's sad. It's very, very sad. Let's see here. Let me give you this one next.
I'd like to bring him.
Okay. And this makes some good points here, guys. It really does. Thank you, Heather, once again. Again, guys, if you haven't, please hit that thumbs up or the like button. Keep us in that algorithm so you guys can get those noties like you're supposed to. Let me see here what we got. Tony says, that's right. The school will pay for it. Absolutely. Did you see the November 7th Instagram post from the Sigma Chi? It's of course, I heard about that one. Yeah. It shows Ethan's entire family at Parents Weekend. Ethan's brother was only family member not smiling. Yes, I did see that, and it caught my attention, Tony. I've been watching Ethan's brother for a while. I know it sounds outrageous, you guys, but nothing is off the table with me right now. I'm not trying to ruin anybody. I'm not saying anything and blasting anybody. I'm just saying everything is on the table for me until some kind of pieces fit into this puzzle. It's all there. Good afternoon, Miss Brandy. Thank you for joining us, my dear. That's it, Cindy. We know nothing. That's why it's so important. So let me get this one rolling for you guys real quick. I believe so. Yes, Miss Molly. I know they were at that party or that meeting or whatever it was together, and they all lived out there. They were all in that campus area. And like Xana's mother just said, these kids were like family. They were all very close. They did everything together. And she also said she thinks that this was one of their friends, somebody they were very close to. And I can't walk away from that, guys. I feel the same way, mainly because of the way this happened. Right. That's it too, Alexis. That's why I'm saying they need to start hitting everybody. They're not going to pull anything out of the system now. We know that. So in turn, they need to start going and DNA and everybody. Everybody needs to swab. And people that say no, hold them in contempt and red flag them. Period. At this point, this is what needs done. This has been going on too long with this person still being free on a college campus full of kids, guys. Not to mention, people live in this area and it's their home, not just the college area. It's not just a college campus for the kids. People have families that live here too. Molly has a friend that lives in that area with her family. Period. So, I believe so, Sandy. I believe that hasn't been proven yet, but I do believe. I haven't seen any proof, I should say. So they need to start doing it and just get it rolling. They should have been doing it for a couple weeks already, in my opinion. That's it right there. That's it right there. You want to stay in college? Give me a DNA. Give me your DNA, and if you refuse, guess what? You get interrogated then. It's a good point. That's the way it needs done. That's exactly how it needs done.
Him in before we go to break. So critical in terms of just the timing of this. Chris Anderson, you're a homicide detective, a former homicide detective for the Birmingham, Alabama PD. You now co-host a very popular true crime series called Reasonable Doubt. And the first 48 is something that is so key. People just know it's part of the vernacular. We are so far out of the first 48, Chris.
I agree, Alexis.
The question that seems to be raising its head and a lot of conversation is the case going cold? Is it far too soon to say that, or are we on the cusp?
No, it's way too early to say that this case is going cold. There's a lot of information that these officers and these investigators can extract from that crime scene, from talking to witnesses that have been in the Moscow area, from searching video cameras. There's just a wealth of information that has not even been tapped into yet. So no, I don't think that we are way we've gone too far to say that this case is gone cold. Absolutely not.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact.
And anybody that has dash cams in that area, they need to be looking at those. Or cars that we're driving by that have the bumper cameras in them. That stuff can all be recorded and checked. No lie. They need to go back and look at all of it. Because any bit of video footage is important in all aspects, guys. No lie. Let's see what we got here. Nope, you're not talking to me today. Call somebody else. I get it, Tony. In a case like this, it's very hard to. It's very high profile and you're right. It's got a huge magnitude. Like I said, everything and anything is possible at this point, Fupa. Everything and anything. Let's see. This gentleman here had some things to say that I thought were very interesting. Like I said, I'm just giving it all to you guys.
We are following
all of it. Anything I got, I'm giving it to you guys so that we can put it all together, you guys, and take what we get from it and see if it teaches us anything. Because we're past that point now where it's a problem. In my opinion, it's a problem.
New developments in that unsolved murder case of 4 University of Idaho students. It now appears a previously unknown person was on the lease for that off-campus home where the murders happened nearly 3 weeks ago. Police say that person was not at the home on the night of the murders.
Yeah, Brady,
it has been nearly 3 weeks this weekend since Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Kaylee Gonsalves were killed, and police still do not have a suspect in custody. Former FBI Special Agent Stuart Kaplan joining us once again. He's been with us since the start of this case, breaking down the evidence, the details, and what we know based on what police have released publicly. Thanks for being back again this morning. I think let's start
with what we've learned overnight and this possible sixth person on the lease. How critical is that in terms of evidence, police questioning?
Well, it's a little confusing because you would think that by interviewing the surviving roommates, that they would have identified that there was some other person who also resided or who at least was legally responsible with respect to being on a lease. So that's somewhat confusing.
No, it's really not, guys. That girl has been gone since before classes started. So I'm going to say they said she moved out right before that, probably in August or July. Why would that make a difference to the other two girls? They're probably not even thinking about that after what just happened, that somebody used to live there. That has no bearing on what's going on right now. Okay? These little things that have no bearing on, they need to brush this stuff aside and work on the stuff that's important.
And I think it's going towards some of the erosion of
That's true,
confidence
Alexis. Very true.
that this police department, this local police department, is now getting the backlash from. But let me just interject for you this morning that I think will be very pivotal and very telling.
I believe so.
These
That
unfortunate
and/or
murders took
FBI.
place on November 13th. Generally speaking, toxicology reports with respect to the victims generally should come back
That was a very sad
within
case,
4 to
Brandy.
6 weeks.
I didn't even want
And
to
so
touch it. It
we're
was so
close.
sad.
We're coming upon that fourth week. And I think that the toxicology reports in connection with these 4 victims will be very telling with respect to, I have no doubt, or I will make an assumption that there will be evidence of alcohol in their system. But if in fact there is other substances that are identified and detected in these or any of these victims, I think that may
Amen, Daisy. Amen.
start to zero in on some other potential targets in this investigation.
I hear what you're saying. It's important and prudent probably to be patient. And I always give police the benefit of the doubt as they work through a very complicated investigation. But there is a lot of criticism. Local police are taking the charge on this. The FBI is involved. Is this messy police work? Because the heat's on. There's a lot of media there. The
Very
community
possible,
wants answers.
Fupa.
They're scared.
So let me be frank. I think it's a lack of experience.
fact,
Look,
Daisy.
this small town in Idaho has never, ever, unfortunately, had to endure what they're enduring right now. And to no fault of the local police department, when that 911 call originally went out, they believed in good faith that someone
Alexis.
within the house was unconscious. They may have anticipated that it was more of a
Exactly,
medical
Sandy.
emergency than a crime, or ultimately ending up with an unfortunate, horrible, barbaric crime scene. And so I think that some of what we are suffering from, or some of what is being played out, is just the inexperience of this local police department, who originally came upon this awful scene. And most or all experienced detectives, FBI agents, anybody who's been in this business for a long time will tell you that the initial onset of coming onto a scene like this must be, the integrity of this crime scene must be maintained at all costs. Now, with that being said, I cannot fault the local police department with respect to running into this house because they, in good faith, believed that it was a medical emergency. But let me suggest that once they realized what they had, and they should have immediately backed out of that house. And then I think it would have been more prudent to maybe call the state agencies or the federal agencies to assist them. And I don't think that happened in a timely fashion. And that is unfortunately leading to some of the missteps in this case.
It's not too late though, right? I mean, we've got state police involved, the FBI is involved. I mean, people who are experienced with gruesome, tragic crime scenes like this, for them to step in and start from scratch, essentially.
That is true to some extent. But the problem is that I will assume, because of the barbaric nature of the way these homicides occurred, there is probably significant blood splatter. Not only on the bed sheets, but also on the furniture and also on the floor. And if you have individuals that are first responders that are coming into the house and literally going room to room, the potential of blood being transferred from one location to the other can potentially
Facts.
impact the integrity of the crime
These are
scene
facts.
and the,
Thank you, Life, Love, and
the
Truth. I appreciate that, my dear.
hypothesis that may be put forth in trying to identify either one perpetrator or several perpetrators. I will believe
Another good
that
point,
what will
Sandy.
be very, very telling is the toxicology reports and, of course, any DNA evidence that may have been captured. And generally, because it has been publicized that there may have been some defensive wounds that may have been identified, that any DNA that may have been captured under fingernails with respect to the perpetrator or perpetrator's DNA will be very telling and very probative in a direction that I believe once these toxicology reports come back, I think you're going to see some progression in moving this case forward.
And hopefully some relief. All
Thanks
of these
again,
details
Life,
are
Love,
hard
and
for the
Truth, Tom. I
families
love you.
to hear and to think about. And as time stretches on, it becomes more difficult. Former FBI Special Agent Stuart Kaplan, as always, thank you. We'll be talking to you again soon.
Good point.
Be sure to tune in
Very
Sunday
good
night
points,
for a News Nation
Alexis.
special report, Idaho Murder Mystery. Brian Enton's going to be live in Moscow talking to members of the...
Very good points, guys. All of you guys are making very good points today. Seriously, and I appreciate you guys for this. You guys are just as involved as I am, and I can see it. And that's what I'm hoping for, Daisy. At least knowing that they know what they're doing, and they know. And here's the thing: is the inexperienced thing is a fact, and it's not their fault, guys. People are not. I mean, they're trained, but until you experience something like this, just like me, okay. I was trained on how to put fires out on a house. I was trained on how to handle an auto accident, okay. And training is training until you actually interact with that situation and you go to that situation and you're handling that kind of a situation. It doesn't go into full effect. You don't get to use the skills or even know if you can do it until you actually are dealing with it. And like I said, every law enforcement agency they're trained for stuff like this, but until it happens, you don't know how you're going to react and what the odds are, what how everything's going to work out. This is a very calculated, premeditated situation, in my opinion. It definitely was not a random situation, guys. There's no way. Okay. So in turn, they don't get this type of thing out here, guys. Sadly, they're going to have experience after this at the cost of 4 beautiful young kids' lives. This agency's getting the experience for something like this. Okay. So you have to go as you are, you learn as you go. It is what it is. It's sad to say it, but it's a fact. So now Moscow Police Department is going to know how to handle a multiple murder investigation after this because of this experience. Okay. But you don't know until you do it. So I'm just saying, guys, that's why this is the way it is, because there is no experience. You don't know what to do. Somebody tells you, I'm going to go make a sweet potato, mincemeat, strawberry, rhubarb, and chocolate pie. Never done it before, but I'm going to go do it right now. Good luck with that, because I ain't never heard of no crazy shit like that. Yeah, neither have I. It's never been made before. Well, let's see what happens. We're going to go make it. If it turns out well, good. If it doesn't, well, we're learning as we go. You know what I mean? That's a fact too, Liza. That we can't have there's never going to be a complete profile until we talk about the victims, the situation, none of it, and it has to be done, guys. It has to be done. That's a very good point as well. You're on point today, Alexis. That's for sure. You don't randomly wake up and murder 4 people with such a personal weapon. That's the other point right there, guys. This was super personal, and get away with it with no planning and no one seeing you being suspicious unless you know what you're doing. Very calculated and premeditated, guys. And I'm thinking, you know, at this point that this has been thought about for a long time to do this. And very personal because of Maddie's situation. She was almost fully decapitated, guys. That's disgusting. That took some work and some time and a lot of damn rage. And I've been saying this, the rage behind this, okay? The rage behind this is unprecedented. It's ridiculous. And that is a point that needs to be looked at very closely, in my opinion. It needs to be looked. They need to look in this circle of these kids. Who is mad? Who has been mad? Who is angry? Who has the ability to be that angry? What has gone on over the past month, 2-3 months, that could put somebody into a position where they are that angry and that full of rage to do something like this? Because I don't care who you are, okay? I don't care how smart you are or who you think you are. For somebody to be that mad, it's going to show, guys. Somebody's going to know you were that mad for somewhere or another. Somebody's going to say something somewhere at some time to do something like this. It had to have been seen or heard or talked about somewhere along the lines over the past weeks before it, okay? And to me, it looks like it was somebody that was very pissed off at Maddie. Sadly, everybody had, you know, fatal wounds, but Maddie's situation was bad. Now, I don't know if it was because she made this person angry at that moment because she was fighting back, or if it was something that, you know, that came from before, and that's why he was there to begin with. But that needs to be looked at, guys. That needs to be broken down under a microscope and looked at. No lie. Or somebody that goes to that house on a regular basis, Mike, being that it's a party house, and somebody that's in that circle that goes there on a regular would make more sense than anything, guys. Honestly. Well, they lost a lot of time, Alexis, the first week because there was so much to process. It took 8 days to process the crime scene, guys, because there was so much blood and so much other stuff going on. I don't know when the talks is due, Daisy, being that there's 4 people. It's probably going to take a minute, I'll be honest with you. And with all the wounds, with the autopsy and all that, they're probably looking at every little thing. So, and then they need to. They really need to. It could have been rejection, Sandy. It could have been rejection. I'm telling you, for whatever reason, whenever I look at this case and I think about it, the word humiliation comes to my mind every time. I keep feeling humiliation. Something or someone did something that humiliated somebody to the point that the humiliation turned into pure anger and hate. And that happens, you guys. I told you earlier, humiliation is an emotion that can turn violent. It is a bad emotion to have triggered. I've seen it time and time again. I've had it happen to me. Not to this extreme, but still, I'm telling you, anybody that's ever worked in law enforcement that has dealt with anything like this, Pamela Gribben, worked in law enforcement. You know it, whether you're here in the United States or over there, wherever you're at, it's still the same emotion with human beings. Human beings' response to these emotions is all the same, guys. We're all the same people, okay? Anybody that's ever worked around law enforcement, in the area of law enforcement, anything to deal with things that happen in law enforcement, you know, EMS, fire service, whatever this and that, you see these things. You see what these emotions cause people to do and how it makes people feel and react. Humiliation is a bad emotion, and I just cannot let go of it. I can't let go of the fact that it's connected to this, okay? To cause that much angst and anger, God, it had to have been something something ridiculous to this person in their mind to make them do this. And that's just me. Right, Brandy. That anything like that. Bonnie says she thinks it was a one person. It very well could be. And that's the thing. And I've been thinking about that too, Fupa. If I think it was two people, one person was in charge, one person helped. Okay. The person that helped would have already been talking out of fear, probably, considering the magnitude of this case. And that's what I'm saying, Febreze. I can't see it being, it keep going back to somebody was humiliated to the point that they couldn't handle it, guys. And this was the reaction. This is my opinion. It is pure speculation. I'm just saying that's where my mind's going with it. It is a lot of work for one person, but don't forget that emotion can turn violence into something beyond a level anybody can ever explain. The adrenaline that comes from that too, guys, don't forget that. This person, when it was over with, probably was so blown up, they probably went home and slept for 2 days. I'm just saying. And just when they wound down from the adrenaline rush and everything else, like, wow, that's all I'm saying. And I agree with that too, Sandy. I think the dog knew whoever it was as well. That doesn't mean I'm saying it was Jack, guys. I'm just saying the dog knew who the person was. There were so many people in and out of that house. It could have been anybody. The knife, yes, they had to know how to use that knife. I agree with that, Sherry. Like I said, you guys are, and there could have been some kind of drugs involved. This person could have been on some kind of drugs. I don't believe they were on alcohol, though, because alcohol would have slowed them down and made them less precise. I don't think they were on any kind of alcohol. No, I get it, Sandy. I get it. A lot of people think that. I told you he's not off my list. He's really not. Yeah, it does, Mama Bear. Let's go back to that. The incel theory. That's a big part of that humiliation scenario. Okay? There's a lot of ways to look at this. And that was another thing, too, Pamela, the time constraint on this. Whoever did it, that gives you the options for waiting till 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because it was Saturday night. Next day is Sunday. Ain't nobody going to be bothering with these people unless they bother with them first. Hence the reason why nobody's seen or heard anything till 11:30, 12 o'clock the next day. You know what I mean? I mean, this guy had all the time in the world, it seems to me, to go in, do what he did. There's nobody left alive. And he probably knows. See, think about that for a minute. He probably knew that everybody that's going to be at that house is now there. Nobody else is going to be showing up. So he had all the time in the world. And he knew that. Okay? He could have made dinner, taken a shower, or something. I don't know. He had all the time to do what he had to do that night or morning and then leave at his own expense. And see, that was making me think too. That's why I think it's somebody that is very close to them, because I think he walked out of that house just like he did 300 other times and nobody looked twice at him because he's a regular there. You see what I'm saying? It's very possible, Sandy. Very possible. I've had people come to me with theories that they called Jack 7 or 8 times that night. Maybe Jack showed up to surprise them. Maybe they had some weird thing going on where they were all kind of doing a thing together. Who knows? It happens, And he comes in and they're in the bed together. Maybe that freaked him out or something and he went nuts. But I don't think so, guys, because I think this was planned. I do. And then Sherry, maybe he was mad because Kaylee broke up and was moving to Texas. Very, very possible, and planned it then. all of this stuff makes sense, you guys, but we can't use any of it until we get something, one little thing to tell us which direction to go with it. I think they were spared, Alexis, because they were locked in that room. And I don't think they had anything to do with the reason why this person was there. I'll be honest. But it is what I mean, and it has to, if you're going to go in that direction, though, what the hell did Xana and Ethan have to do with something had to have happened somewhere, somehow, that provoked this between one of those four people and this person, or all four of those people and this person. You know what I mean? It's very possible, Vicky. Maybe Maddie talked Kaylee into breaking up with Jack. That would be something that would really piss somebody off. If we're going with that. But I'm not saying that as of right now. Okay. Just saying everything's on the table right now, you guys. Everything. When they give us something different, then we can clear the table a little bit, make room for what they give us, and then we'll go with that. Because that's the only thing that makes any sense right now. Okay, I'll give you this. This is new details from yesterday, but I think we already know this. This is something else I downloaded.
And I just...
All right, give me a second here. That's possible too, Brandy Hunt. It really is. I mean, honest to God, like I said, don't take nothing off the table. Don't take no one off the list. Not until they give us a reason to do that. That's how I'm doing it. That's what I'm doing. That's how I'm dealing with it, and that's how I'm going with it, guys. Because we don't have any reason to believe whatsoever that anybody is innocent from this at this point. None. No reason to believe it, because nobody has given us a reason to believe it, guys. You know, I'm not going to go out there and start saying, well, this one did it, that one did it. I think it was him. I think it was her. But they're all on the list right now. Hell, at this point, the two girls that were not attacked, if they had boyfriends or they knew people, I'm going to put them on the list too. Hence the reason why they weren't attacked. You know, I'm just saying everything's got to be out there right now until law enforcement has something to put out there, period. It would, Vicky. It would definitely go back to humiliation, honestly. Right. That's true, Liza. And if that was the case, why not use a gun and just bing, 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 you're done. You know what I mean? Why take the why if it wasn't a personal specified reasoning, why wouldn't you just use a gun? That way you could go in quickly, do your thing and walk away. You know, guns make noise, yes, I know. Okay. But that house doesn't allow for a lot of noise. And there's silencers and all sorts of things. So, I mean, maybe that's why, I don't know. Everything should be on the table. That's 100% correct, Vicky. Thank you. And nobody should be cleared for this until they're cleared for this, period. Right, Liza. I agree. The guns are easy to track. That's a fact. And that's another good thing. They are good with the knife, Sandy. Very good. Again, guys, you guys all have great points today. I'm very, very, very proud of you guys because they're all sense that you guys are saying. You guys are putting it out there the right way. I mean, everything. It all sounds great, and that's why we do this. We got it all on the table now, and we're just looking through it little by little. One piece here, trying this puzzle piece, trying that puzzle piece. one of these days, that piece is going to fit with another piece. There's one piece of it. What's up, stranger? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for joining us.
I want to acknowledge that some of us today will maybe grieve by laughing at stories and having a good time. Others today might grieve only by crying, or others by being angry the entire time. Just want to encourage us that each of us is.
All right, Bonnie, we love you.
Trying to
I'll
connect,
see you
trying
soon,
to
man. Have a great
bring
rest
some
of your day.
understanding and some perspective in the midst of all of this. So I want to encourage us to be gracious with one another, especially as family members, as you are dealing with so much. To give space for one another and to remember that none of us grieve perfectly. We all do things and say things that we will regret and continue to pray another. We need each other to get through this time. I want to read some different verses from the Bible, kind of from all over the Bible. It says, God is our refuge and strength, always ready to help in times of trouble. So we will not fear when earthquakes come and the mountains crumble into the sea. Be still and know that I am God. Do not be afraid when you go through deep waters. I will be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be. The flames will not consume you. For I am the Lord, your God, the Holy One, your Savior. For the Lord your God is living among you. He is a mighty Savior. He will take delight in you with gladness, and with his love he will calm all your fears. He will rejoice over you with joyful songs. All praise to God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. God is our merciful Father and the source of all comfort. He comforts us in all our troubles so that we can comfort others. And then Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light. But even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me. You keep track of my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. My enemies will retreat when I call to you for help. Because this I know, God is on my side." At this time, we're going to have some of the family members that are prepared to share. If that's you, if you can make your way around the stage back here, and they're going to share just about their loved ones that are gone, that we're remembering their life, their memories. And then after the family shares a little bit, we're going to watch a slideshow together of all of these friends having fun in their lives. And then we have some friends that have prepared some memories to share, and they're going to do that as well. So again, families coming around the stage, and they'll come out here in a moment. You guys can see her. You can watch right there.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jake. I was Maddie's boyfriend. I'd like to say thank you, everyone, for being here, and everybody involved in the investigation, helping, and everybody showing the unreal support. And yeah, it's we really appreciate it more than we can show right now. So I was Maddie's boyfriend, and she brought me closer to Xana and Kaylee. I knew Xana actually before Maddie, and I met Kaylee through Maddie. And I just like they always were amazing to be around. Just Santa was always so energetic and happy and just a beautiful soul. And Kaylee was always so strong and driven, and just kind and really genuinely cared about everyone. I didn't get the opportunity to meet Ethan too many times, but from what I had heard from Matty and all the other roommates, he was also a really great guy, and none of these people deserve this.
And this one is for Darian.
So I met Maddie her freshman year of college. We went to high school together, but I was a couple years older, and didn't really get to meet her until she came to University of Idaho, and she got in to the Pi-Fi house, and I had multiple friends in there.
Yeah,
And
he's definitely not there.
they just really took Maddie under their wing,
No,
and
not at all.
took her under their wing and were showing, like, introducing them to everybody, and just were always there for her. She was always surrounded by a good group.
I'm gonna go grab my coffee, guys.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
so I met her actually on her bid day of her freshman year. I don't necessarily think she was supposed to go out that night, but luckily she did, and I got to meet her that night. There were times throughout that school year where we got to hang out and just I got to get to know her a little bit, but I didn't really realize that I was in love with Maddie until the summer of 2020. We went to McCall, and I got a boat that summer, and we got to spend a lot of time on the water. And we floated the river and just hung out every chance we got. And then when we went back to school, I lived in an apartment, and I would just always invite over the Pi-Fi girls to get an opportunity to hang out with Maddie. We didn't go on our first date until Valentine's Day that next school year, and we went to the breakfast club in Moscow, but we didn't officially start dating until April 27th that year. Maddie was a perfectionist. A good story with that would be Kaylee and Maddie's birthdays. They were like a month apart, and Maddie's came first, and she would always get frustrated because Kaylee would always go all out and just make everything perfect for her. And it was like almost like a little competition between the two who could make their birthdays better. And I guess it was a repeating thing throughout the years of them knowing each other. Maddie was the best at spreading love to all of those that were close to her. Every time I talked to her on the phone, she would end the conversation with "I love you," and I would always say it back. She was always smiling and dancing and laughing, and is really observant of things. She would point things out that she thought were cute, which was something usually pink or tiny. She always loved being comfy. If we're watching a movie or a football game or anything, she just got her comfy socks on, blanket, and was just always making the best of every situation. She was nice. She was funny. She knew that she was like she knew her worth. I had, I had to work for her. It was worth it. Um, just so confident. She knew that she was beautiful inside and out, but she was also humble about it.
Loved ones is speaking about these students who again were killed back on November 13th at this celebration of life service. Some viewers going to be seeing a 2-minute break.
When she asked, she was the type of person that when she asked you how your day was, it was genuine. She really wanted to know. Like when I would talk to her, she could tell me about all of her friends and what they were up to. She was just always aware of everything. She was also, she was really funny. All her jokes really would come out of nowhere, and you'd have to do like a double take. Just be like, was that the cute little blonde girl that just said that? She would always express her love to everybody in words and hugs. She's really good hugger. She was always someone for her friends, her family, me, and just really anybody that needed advice or a shoulder to cry on or a person to hug. Maddie was the go-to for that. She loved the whole process of in Moscow, just getting ready with all of her friends. She would be helping all of them
Welcome,
do
Breezy.
makeup, and I'd just be sitting on the bed observing all these girls doing what they do. So Maddie was my best friend.
Boopa.
She was the first person I talked to every morning. But I was lucky enough to be able to explore life with Maddie for about 2 years. She was the one who knew me best, and she saw me at my highs and my lows. Just helped me through everything.
Here we go.
She was always there for me, pushing me to be better and to spread positivity. I think that's what she wanted. And she was the person that I loved the most, and
that's right, Liza.
She
we
loved
did
me the most too.
Breezy, do me a favor and type something in chat real quick, please.
And I know she would want us to be strong and be as positive and happy as we can through this time. Just know that
I
we
get
have
it,
her
Alexis. I get
watching over all of us. And I know she's in heaven. And
that's a fact,
can't
Breezy.
wait to
That's
see her
a fact.
again. Just give her a big hug. That's all I got. Love you, Maddie.
Damn, dude. So sorry. It's so horrible. God. It's rough. So thank you, Breezy. I appreciate you being here every day. I agree, Alexis. I agree. He's definitely not somebody I'm really looking at, per se, by any means. All right, let me see. What else did I have?
Thank everyone for coming tonight. We really appreciate it.
1 second, y'all.
Maddie has truly been a blessing in our lives. Watching her grow and mature.
All right, where to go? Where to go? Where to go? Again, guys, I didn't put this up. If you guys have any thoughts, theories, opinions, anything you want to say, and you really want to speak it, 234-703-4047. Call me. We'll talk about it. I'm sure everybody would love to hear your voices and hear what you have to say, guys, because it's important. It really is. Let me see here. All right, this was the next one. They brought in a criminologist, and we're speaking to a criminologist on asking, what that person thought could solve this case. Okay, and they did that with the Today Show yesterday. I think it was. Thank you, Heather. Very much. Right, Liza. I just can't put him there. You know what I mean? Like I said, I have everybody on a list, but I can't put him. He's at the very, 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 very bottom, if anything, because I just don't see it, nor do I feel it. So, I'm gonna put this up and let you guys listen to what this criminologist had to say about this. It's kind of informative. I'll say that much. So here we go. All right. Again, thank you, Ms. Heather, for that. And again, anyone that has donated to the PayPal, Venmo, and or Cash App, I appreciate that, as does my family very much. At this point, it has been very helpful, guys, and it is helping out a lot, and we appreciate every bit of it from all of you. So thank you so very much, guys. We love you. All right, here we go.
Still surrounding the murder of those 4 University of Idaho students. Tomorrow will mark 3 weeks since they were killed while they slept in their home. And police still do not have a motive, a murder weapon, or even a suspect.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. So is time running out to solve this case? Casey Jordan is a criminologist, behavioral analyst, and professor at Western Connecticut State University. Good.
I see what you're saying, Liza. Well, I think that she was in the process of moving. They were probably in the same bed because they were hanging out together, friends and best friends. They do that kind of stuff. That's probably why. But, she was in the process of moving out of there completely. I was told, getting her stuff together to go and start her life in Texas and get her life going. Welcome, Kitty. It is okay. And you are, again, more than welcome to join me up here if you'd like to. Just give me that heads up and I'll bring you up. Miss Lisa's not here this afternoon, but just give me a heads up and you got a link, my dear. Welcome, by the way. It's great to have you back.
Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Good to be here.
Casey, help catch us up right here. First of all, what are the key questions aside from who did this that they're still trying to answer right now? And what do we know at this point?
Well, what we do know that I find most interesting is about the fixed blade knife. They haven't been able to answer whether or not there was more than one knife. That's all going to be in the autopsy. But when we look at the photos of the Rambo-style hunting knife, that tells us something very specific about this perpetrator, especially because it doesn't appear to be an impulsive crime where a knife was taken from the kitchen and left at the scene. They haven't recovered the knife. They are looking at all the cars that were left in the area. But one of the more interesting things that I've read just in the last 24 hours is that most indices are that the perpetrator entered through the back door, through the...
I'm going to say something, guys, and this is just coming from me, not from anything I heard. They're not going to recover a knife, in my opinion. That knife is going to stay with that person. It's going to get cleaned up, and they're going to continue to use it as if they normally would with anything else. It's not going to get dispersed, thrown away, hidden, buried. I think they're going to keep it. No worries, Kitty, but know that you're welcome up here. I'd love to have your opinions and everything up here with us. I got you. No worries. Thank you for joining us, period. But yeah, I don't think that knife is ever going to be found until they find that person. That's when it's going to be found. No, Kitty. Of course not. That's why we're still talking about it.
sliding glass doors. We know that the police said there was no sign of forced entry, no pry marks. Initially people thought perhaps the perpetrator came through the front door, that it was left ajar, but then we found out people arrived at the scene before the 911 phone call was made. So the backdoor theory, the idea that somebody may have come through the woods down the precipice, really does fit with what we know about these kinds of predatory crimes, and really opens it up to the possibility that it is a stranger homicide.
Well, and you take me to my next point, Casey, because there have been some high-profile missteps. Investigators first saying this was targeted and now saying it wasn't targeted. How have those mistakes potentially impacted or hampered the investigation?
You're right. They've been saying lately that it was a miscommunication, but it's really cost a lot for them with regard to public trust. Initially, we heard the words, it was a crime of passion. It was targeted. Now they have backpedaled and said, well, maybe it's not targeted victim. Maybe it was a targeted location. And they have been very tight-lipped about what that means. Do they think that that person was a stalker of one of the victims, had been in the house before, lived in the house before? And that has caused a lot of...
I don't think this person's worried about getting rid of the knife, Liza. Definitely cleaning it, but I don't think they're going to get rid of it. I think this person has so much gall that they'll clean it nice, and if they wore it on their hip, that they'll put it right back in their sheath and keep on wearing it like it was nothing. That's how I feel about it. I really do.
Rumor mill swirling, which can only impede the investigation. Let's agree there's a balance of what the police need to hold back, but I do think they could give us a little bit more information that would not impede the investigation, but earn the trust of the public and get more tips coming in, because I do think it's tips that are going to solve this.
Yeah, and Casey, as you know well, minutes matter in these murder investigations. Now we're talking about weeks here. In the days and weeks ahead, where do you think the key focus should be for these investigators?
You know, at last count, there are more than 100 professionals, police, FBI, state officers working on this. They've had more than 1,000 tips. Forensics are being processed. We need to find out if there is DNA that they can put into CODIS to see if it matches a known perpetrator. It's entirely possible this is the very first kind of violent crime that this perpetrator has committed. But based on what we know, if it is the first, it probably won't be the last. So tips coming in and opening the circumference of their investigation to nearby states in case this person is mobile is going to be critical. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a similar crime out there in the coming months if we don't catch this perpetrator soon.
That's an ominous warning. Such brutal murders that took place there and just before the holidays for those families who are now without their loved ones. Casey Jordan, thank you so much.
Yeah, we hope they get answers soon. Thank you, Casey.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app.
StreamYard,
Download it now.
Thank you, Al. I use StreamYard, hon. Zoom causes too many problems, in my opinion, so I just don't use it. Right. That's what I'm so angry about, Alexis. They're just living their life like nothing happened. Meanwhile, 4 people are gone. That's what makes me mad. And it really makes me mad. I think I had 1 or 2 other things for you guys. Yeah, that's fact, Liza. That's a fact. Let me see what's going on here. I'll give you guys that. Give you guys that. Okay, this one I don't think I did. 1 second, everybody.
Xana Kernodle's mom, Kara,
What's that? Hold on a minute. Kitty. Yeah, there is, Fupa. Believe me, I'm very well prepared. No worries. Very well prepared. I get it, Alexis. I get it. Actually, I could agree with you on that, Liza. I could. I'm sorry to hear that, guys. 1 second, everybody.
She just joined us on the telephone with her thoughts about what has happened. Clearly, she is in the dark, almost as the rest of us are, about the details of this case, why the police think it's a targeted attack. She did say she believes the kids in the house were targeted as opposed to the house itself. She also said something very significant that none of us knew before, and that was that her daughter, Xana, likely had a lock on her bedroom door. Her mom believes that her bedroom door had a lock. And she also said that Xana's dad, Jeff, had just the week before this murder been at that house to fix a lock. Whether it was the lock on the bedroom door or an outside door to the house, that's unclear. But Xana's mom knows that Xana's dad had fixed a lock at that house just the week before. I want to bring back in Brian Enton, who has been on this case. Brian, see the photo on the screen right now. On the left-hand side is an image of an inside lock on a bedroom door in the basement, in the lower floors. And the person who took that picture was the former tenant who moved out in 2009. And he told Fox Digital that his bedroom door had a coded lock, and that's the photo of it. He said every bedroom in that house had a coded lock on it. But if we look on the right-hand side, that's a recent picture from social media of the second floor bedroom across from the kitchen. And you can see that does not be a picture coded lock. In the last 3 years, some of the bedrooms may have actually changed, but it is quite a development to hear. Definitely that Xana was on the second floor.
My apologies.
And that her mom believes she had that lock and her dad had worked on it.
Yeah, my apologies. I try to give you guys stuff as soon as I get it. That way you have it and we know where we're going with it. And listen, guys, if it's too much, I can, reiterate it to you down the road. If you need it, I keep all this stuff, so don't worry about that. We won't get behind on anything, I promise. But I just want you guys to have everything just as much as anybody else does. You guys deserve to have current info right away, just like everybody else does, guys. So it is a lot, though, Squirrel, very much. Right, yeah. I don't know if they'll make him a suspect, Kitty, but I see where you're at with it. Absolutely, Cece. No worries, honey. I agree, Sandy. There can be no empathy to do something. Whoever did this doesn't have a soul, in my opinion. And if not, like I said, what's happening, Shandy? Welcome. Good to see you. Like I said, if I have to go back and reiterate stuff, I have no problem doing that.
A week prior, possibly.
Yeah, I mean that's the first time we've heard that, Ashley. So just trying to think this through here. A different lock. Is that a reason that the killer was possibly able to get into the room? Certainly possible, but just heartbreaking. I was listening to your whole interview so closely. Just heartbreaking to hear that mom speak for the first time. Very similar what she's saying to Kaylee's parents, who I spoke to a couple of hours ago. Just frustration that they don't have information, and frustration that they say the police aren't keeping them updated as frequently.
So that is something that is new at this point. Obviously, Brian, tomorrow is the 3-week mark since those kids went out on a Saturday night, like all college kids do, and had a great time and got home at a pretty reasonable hour, for college kids, 1:45 in the morning. And I'm sensing as well from the Gonsalves family, and I cannot imagine the pain that they are suffering, especially since they've been left in the dark. But they are starting to, their patience is giving way.
Something I was thinking about last night, guys, when I was going through my notes once again for the 3 millionth time. Kitty and Fupa, Alexis, Sandy, all you guys. I was picturing in my mind this person going into the girls' room. We'll just say Maddie and Kaylee, and standing over top of them and attacking the first girl with that first, that first attack. Thinking and wondering when he did that, obviously it woke them up. It had to have woke both them up. Okay. How did you control both people in that bed and do what you're doing without getting and still able to complete it? You know what I mean? That's been bugging me. I can imagine that first, to whoever it was, the first attack, the first wound shocked them both awake, whether it was those two or the other two, and that they both were shocked awake and start yelling and screaming and possibly trying to defend themselves. It's just the person that did it. That's why it's so hard for me to believe that there wasn't two sometimes. I don't know, guys. It's driving me nuts. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate that, hon. Guys, those of you that are not, well, yes, that right there, Sandy, you're right. It makes me wonder if Maddie may have been number one, and that whole thing was because of that. Right. That's all agreed upon, Sandy. Really, it is. Because we had talked about you're very into this, like I am, Kitty, and have been. So we had been talking about different things and stuff like that, and it was just making me think about how deep into this you got, and made me wonder if you had thoughts like that too, and thinking about different situations on how it happened, and if there was one or two people or whatnot, and maybe there was, Breezy, maybe there was more than one person, which would help this make sense more. But right, that's true too, Liza. Thank you, Heather. Thank you very much, my dear. I appreciate that again. Right, Breezy. That's again exactly what I was saying too. It's just I think about this all the time, you guys. It is what it is. But I was thinking about that, like the first initial attack would have shocked both of them awake in both circumstances. Out of all four of them, either one of them it could have been. And that's what made me start thinking about the fraternity. It's multiple guys, Hell, it could have been 3 or 4 people that did this. Doubtful. I'm just saying. I'm very interested in that fraternity. For whatever reason, I keep going back to that. Yeah, I agree, Alexis. I know why they're not commenting on it. I know. I'm not going to bring those two's names up again. I did early on because law enforcement did, but there would be 2 weapons. Absolutely. I don't know, guys.
To frustration, it seemed pretty clear.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they, you heard what they said. I mean, they don't understand. Their main frustration tonight seemed that they just don't understand why some of the people are being cleared. They want to know what the alibis are. They're like, is it just a friend who said I saw them? I mean, they want to know what the crystal clear alibis are of why some of these people were cleared. Something else interesting, actually, because I heard Xana's mom bring it up, and you asked her about the stalker. I got some clarification tonight about that from Kaylee's family. They actually don't know of a specific stalker or that she was being stalked. But they did say something similar to what Xana's mom just told you, just that, these were very, very pretty girls and that it wouldn't surprise them if there was a stalker or people, men following them around, but they did not know of a specific person.
Well, that's fascinating because the police said in a news conference when a reporter asked, where did you get the information about the stalker, to start with? The police said it came up in interviews that they've been conducting. They didn't say who in the interviews told them that Kaylee had a stalker, but Kaylee's dad, Steve, has revealed that Kaylee told her dad, Steve, that she had a stalker. So I'm trying to figure out if it was Steve who brought that information to the police and they've not been able to corroborate it, or if someone else brought that information to the police and Steve could corroborate it. Is that still unclear?
So I think there was confusion along the way,
It
is what her parents told me. That I don't know if they were misquoted or how it actually came out, that the dad said there was a specific stalker, but he says that is not the case. There is not a specific person that they know of. It was more of just this general feel that she could have had a stalker.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more.
Kitty, if you want to do that, you can. Whatever you're sending me, hun, please make sure you're sending it to my email so I can share it with you guys easier. It's easier for me to bring it up that way. Rather than having to transfer it all over and then do it. But yeah, if you want to do that, you can. I wouldn't recommend it in some senses. Just be careful with what you're looking at because it's kind of creepy over there. I've seen some stuff over there that I'm never going to unsee. I'll be honest with you. You never know what you'll see over there. You never know. You might find something over there, Right. I don't think so either for that exact reason that you just said, truthfully. Let me see here. One second, everybody. Yep, that is exactly right, Poopa. I 100% agree with you on that one. All right.
I'm not sure how it's a type of cooking mechanism is to hold this axle right here. I want to try and bust it off, not knowing what the hell I'm doing.
Please don't apologize, Kitty. It's okay. Not a problem. Not a problem whatsoever. It's just easier for me to pull it up to share with everybody through my email rather than having to go into different things and then transfer it over, so on and so forth. That's all. I'm just saying anything here on there. So no worries.
Sophie, if you're reading this, it means I'm not here to tell you this in person.
It's K45SS.
I'm baffled. The part of me thinks you always knew. Even when I did a damn good job of convincing you otherwise. I'm telling you this because I know you care about it. And I want you to know that I know you're friends of them, but I love you. Because I wanted to protect you, and because I was sure it even before you.
Ow, ow, ow.
Good job for our city. And I hope you'll always remember this.
Yeah, I agree with that one too, Kitty. For sure. Oh, you're fine. Oh man. Okay. Let me see. Hold on a minute, guys. I'm sorry. I'm looking at a couple things. Absolutely, Kitty. You're more than welcome to put your link in here for your channel, Kitty, and I'd love to have everybody subscribe to it. Check it out. Please do. Drop it in here. If not, Miss Heather can do it, or one of the other moderators can drop it in here. Please, guys, go check out Kitty's channel. Kitty does a lot of the same stuff that I do because I'm into paranormal too. You guys know that. So I've just been so preoccupied with all this that we haven't been able to touch that kind of stuff. So take your time, Ollie. I'll be here. No worries, Kitty. You don't need videos. We can all subscribe to you without videos, but somebody will put it in there and everybody link up to you. We support our own people, guys. Everybody does. We all do. Yeah, it's not there. Okay, then. Dang it. I got you. Thank you, Miss Heather, so much. There's the link, everybody, to Miss Kitty's channel, guys. Check her out. Show her some love. Subscribe. We got to support our own people, guys. Thank you, Miss CC, as well. Thank you so much for that. Here we go. All right. Thank you, Miss Brandy. What's up, Satin B? Good to see ya. Thank you, Vicky. That's right, guys. Like I said, we take care of our own people. We help everybody out in here. Subscribe to family. We keep everybody rolling, guys. Yes, that's what we do, my dear. That's what we do. I have a great team working for me here. They're very quick, if you haven't noticed. Heather, Brandy, Cece, Schmooby, Squirrel, all of them. They're very good and very quick at what they do. I have great mods. So I'm just saying. Oh no. Are you serious? Come on. I don't need that. It's great to see you, Satin. Yeah, yes, we do. We love you, kitty. We'll get together and go over some paranormal stuff together one of these days, my dear. When some of this stuff slows down, God, for hope. I hope. Let me see here. I think that was everything that I had. I don't want to overwhelm you guys. Like Squirrel said, it's a lot to take in one day. But again, if anybody has any thoughts, theories, comments about any of it, feel free. Give me a call, 234-703-4047. Let me know what you think. And let us hear your voice. You know, we always like to hear everybody's voices in here, besides mine. Absolutely, Miss Kitty. Absolutely. You're part of the family. You got to be treated as such. Oh, I hope everything's all right with Miss Lisa. After that last episode, I get a little nervous. All right, good deal. Nobody got anything for me? Oh, I'm a huge skeptic. I'm a certified through the state of Ohio paranormal investigator. And I started our own ghost hunting group because I'm a skeptic. So yeah, but I have seen some things that I have no answer for. So I'll give you that. Thank you, Squirrel. Let's see what we got here. Is this the right? Did you send it into my email, Squirrel? Let me see if this is it. Or is this the old one? Is it from Dom, Squirrel? Or is that the old? Is it from Dom again, or is this it? Okay, gotcha, hon. All right, guys, this is from Squirrel to everybody. She asked me to play it for you guys. Listen up. She's good with these messages, guys. They're pretty cool. All right, guys, here we go.
Hey, it's Dominic from the Dominic Natty Show. Christmas is the only time of year in which I can sit in front of a dead tree and eat candy out of a sock. You all bring me so much joy, and I just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and also remind you that you're a true gift in my life and not the kind I'd return for store credit. Thanks, guys.
That's awesome, Squirrel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And that goes for me too, guys. I would not return any of you for store credit ever. I love you guys to death. But we're going to get into the whole Christmas thing here one of these days and have our own little thing, little Christmas bash. But thank you so much, Miss Squirrel. We appreciate that. We love you so very much. Dominic is a trip. I love him. All right, get that down. Get this down. I got myself all loaded up in here. So what does everybody think from what we talked about today, class? Nobody wants to call me. Nobody likes me. But if Lisa was here, you'd call. You couldn't return me for store credit. They'd say we don't. I doubt that, Alexis. I doubt that. But that is cute. I love it. Yeah, it was a lot to take in again today, guys, and there's just a lot with this case. Period. I didn't. I'm sure you guys saw the case about the 7-year-old little girl. I didn't want to go into that, guys. It was very sad. It happened very quickly. It was, FedEx guy did what he did. They found her. It's horrifying, and we didn't need anything more depressing than what we're already involved in. And I just didn't want to bring that to you guys and put that out there on top of this and everything else we've already looked at. So that's why I didn't do it, guys. It's a lot, and I love you guys, and I don't want to do that to a lot of you guys because these things hit hard. A lot of people won't say it, but it does happen. So I believe it or not, I look out for you guys as well. So that's why I'm not covering this one or that one, or didn't, because it was in on again, off again. It is very sad, Cece. So very sad. And after what we went through with Quentin and Summer, enough is enough. This is horrifying enough what we're looking at here, and the whole thing with Shanquella. Like, children are just, there's too much with kids, and I didn't want to compile that with another one with you guys, let alone with me. So I will do that, you guys. I'm letting you know right now. If I think it's too much, I'm not going to put it out there to you guys. Whether you see it or not, you're not going to see it from me, because just enough is enough. That's too much for a human being to have to deal with. So, me too, Alexis. Me too. Non-refundable. Well, I wouldn't want to give you back anyway, Miss Brandy. You know that. I love each and every one of you guys. Absolutely, 100%. You guys are amazing, beautiful people, and I'm so grateful to have you guys here. I'm so grateful for what you guys do for my channel, myself, my family. You guys know, I'm not going to go mushy on you again. I'm just saying. It's never going to change, guys.
Where's my nut mixture that I made up yesterday? It says commercial. I know what it says. Is it right?
Top 3. Well, my number 1 suspect is somebody I don't know. Okay. Number 2. Again, somebody I don't know. Number 3 is Jack. I'm thinking my first 2, for whatever reason, keeps taking me back to the fraternity, brother. I'll be honest with you. Those are fun, Kitty. Very fun. But yeah, I have a very strong liking for the fraternity. For whatever reason, Tony, it just, my head keeps going back there. I really think something may have happened with in between. I keep going 2 different directions back and forth. Escape rooms are awesome. They really are. Yes, Miss Cece, absolutely. There's a grand possibility that something may have gone on between the frat house and that 5-hour period with Ethan and Xana. So that's one side of things. And at the same time, I just feel like, on the other side of it, we can look at it this way with Kaylee and Maddie. But I don't know where to go with those 2. Maybe Jack. Maybe Ethan's brother with, the whole Maddie thing. Like I said, nothing's off the table, but I don't want to say, yeah, Dan, they were saying that Kaylee had a soccer, but it's not 100% been proven yet, dude. So we don't know. Yeah. He said that now he's saying he does think she may have. And that's what it is the timeline is huge, Alexis. That Alexis and Xana, or I'm sorry, the names. Alexis, I'm trying to talk to you by your name, saying that Xana and Ethan's timeline is super crucial, very sensitive. That's why we need for the frat house guys to start talking about something. And they need to start swabbing everybody, guys. That's my opinion. They really do. They need to start swabbing everybody and anybody. I appreciate your input, though, Dan. I do. Very much so. It's good to have you here. I think I did it for someone who lived there before or someone from the restaurant to live in. Well, and that's very possible too, Kitty. There's too many possibilities. That's the problem. I agree with that too, Alexis, but I just keep wanting to go back to that fraternity for whatever reason. I don't know why. There's nothing that's really been shown to us other than the fact that they're being so tight-lipped and we haven't heard nothing from them. Could that be a good enough reason? I don't know. I'm sure that they do have one, Alexis. I really am sure. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is we need something. We need something. Thank you again, Tony. Question. I appreciate that. Sorry again, guys, for my voice. Like I said, it's in and out, in and out. All right, everybody. Well, nobody's calling in, and I got your guys' input. I gave you guys what I got. Like I said, I don't want to overload anybody. I want to say thank you guys for all being here. I appreciate you guys getting involved. I think it was a great think tank today. As always, great show, and I appreciate every one of you guys for being involved and being here. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. I don't know if you guys will see me tomorrow. Probably not tonight because why I didn't see me last night was because my granddaughter was here and she's still here. Nope, you're not talking to me today. I can't call to you, short call. Is that what you're saying? Or you can call, Kitty? Wait, you're probably overseas. I understand that. That's absolutely fine. No worries. That's why I said it's no big deal. I just like you guys to know you have the option to do that. Yeah, stay warm, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. And again, thank you guys all for your involvement, your information, for just being here, guys. I love you guys to death. Every one of you guys are amazing, and thank you for all that you do for me. The Dago phone, the Dago phone, the Dago phone. It's the loudest phone in the neighborhood. I get it, Kitty. Don't worry about it, hon. That's it, Tony. And they don't. That's what bothers me. It's been too long. Too long. Something needs to change. So, well, thank you guys. Like I said, it's been enough time. Yeah, about 3 hours now. So, guys, have a great, and amazing rest of your evening with your friends, your families, whatever you're going to do. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. Be happy. And don't change nothing about yourselves, guys, because you're amazing. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget, guys, to love yourselves and love each other because that's what we got, guys. Meatballs, all you guys. I love you guys. Thanks for jumping in the sauce with me tonight. I appreciate you so much. I will do that, Mr. Popper. Thank you so much, brother. Guys, have a great one, and I will see you all soon. Love you. Bye.
Why are you eating it?
No.